I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight TV, we delve into the heartwarming tale of friendship and growth in There's a New Cat at Scecina by Stephen Peterson. Set against a backdrop of Scecina Memorial High School, this story follows Makaley, a seasoned student, and Kat, a newcomer with a worldly background, as they navigate the trials and triumphs of high school life. Their journey is a testament to the power of friendship and the extraordinary lessons learned in the corridors of high school. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Stephen, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Scecina Memorial High School really feels like a real place, is it?
It's a real place. It's on the east side of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. And tell us why you decided to set the story at Scecina High.
I went to school there,
Okay.
and and
There we go.
it was great experience having gone there. Primarily, I learned how to do a better job with English. English is not my first language; it's my second language.
Well, you wouldn't have no idea that was the case. What was your first language?
I'm Seminole. I'm from here in Oklahoma, and I had to learn English. English is a very difficult language. I can tell you that much now.
Yeah.
I think the only two that I can think of that may be more difficult might be Chinese and maybe Arabic.
Right. Although I think there's more rules to English than any other language. So English might take the cake, top prize there. So that's very, very interesting that you have a background as a Native American. I guess you spoke the Native American language when you were growing up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you've obviously mastered the language as well because this book is so well written. Let's give the folks at home an overview of what the story is about.
Okay. What it is about students, one who is a world traveler, that being Makaley, and Kat, who is right there at the school. And they meet with each other, two different backgrounds, a little bit of diversity, and they learn how to be friends, even though they are just new.
Yeah, and that's so important to have a good friend or a quick friend when you first join a high school. Was it based on your own experiences of joining high school and having somebody guide you along?
Yes, sir. That's exactly the case.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about the adventures of Kat and Makaley when they're in high school.
Well, they come to each other just like anyone else, it seems, is that they have their differences. One says, nah, let's try something, let's do it this way. I found that to be the case in my own case as well, so that you get to a new school, no one knows you, and you can either go on your own personality or look for people that have similar backgrounds in some way. Mostly what I was looking at is also I'm a psychologist. So in psychology, one of the things that we look for is empowerment. How do you get along with other people? And I learned as a very young boy that humility does not necessarily mean that you're subdued to anybody. It means that you're looking for truth. In this instance, that's what these two girls are looking for. And they're actually real people as well.
Oh, great. Based on kids that you went to school with?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. It's funny, I joined my high school. It was an all-boys Catholic high school in sophomore year. So I was the new kid. And one of the guys said, when I was walking in the cafeteria with the tray, looking around like, okay, where do I sit? He's like, hey, come sit at our table. And that guy's been my best friend for 45 years. So it's amazing that those bonds that we make in high school, particularly the people who were kind to you, last, which is very, very nice, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
tell us about writing this book. Was it a good trip down memory lane for you?
It was because where I went to school at Scecina, you had a very similar experience. There were friendly people there. Um, Also, back in the time when I'm thinking of this was in the '60s, when you had some racial animus,
Mhm.
but as, many of the Catholic schools, people just learned to get along with each other, and more than that, actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was a good school, and still is, as a matter of fact. It's ranked rather high, and there's something like 600 students there now.
So that's
And
almost like a private school with only 600 students there.
uh,
Yeah,
and from what I've been led to understand, it is growing. Uh,
wonderful.
so it's where I had some of my beginnings as well, and I had some of the best teachers I've ever had at that school.
Yeah. Yeah, the teachers at that age, like I said, just like a kind student, can really help shape who you are, you know?
Yes, sir.
And I had a similar experience. I was brought into the drama club and I became an actor because of my experiences in high school. So they can be life-changing, life-altering in very positive ways. Unfortunately, for some, they can be very negative in negative ways, but we're focusing on the positive here today for sure. Have you envisioned a new Cat at Scecina as a TV series or a movie, perhaps?
Actually, I have not.
Okay.
Primarily, I brought it back at our student reunion, our class reunion, and they couldn't believe I wrote a book. They said, "Did you write about us?" And I said, "Yes, I did." Oh my gosh!
That's great.
So it was really funny, and several of these students there. In fact, I think all of them may have bought that book. I had about 100, and every one of them were gone. So,
Amazing.
and for me, it's just amazing what our class has done. Most of them, many of them have graduate degrees, so that some of us became dentists, medical doctors, school administrators, teachers. So I mean, we went the gamut.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. It's fun to look back at what you were and what you've become. What reunion was that? Was that your 30th or 40th or
It was our 50th reunion,
50th reunion? Wow. That's
and
good.
believe it or not, I was the baby. Uh,
That's
reason,
something.
the reason being is because I was 2 years younger than they were. I
Hmm.
graduated from Scecina when I was 16, so I went
Amazing.
on to college. It's not like what many people think. Um, my dad was a mathematician, and he taught me mathematics.
Hmm.
He explained to me that math will get you far. So that he said, "Sit down. I'm teaching mathematics."
Yeah.
He did it in a way that was very similar to what they did at Scecina.
Hmm. Now, you grew up on a reservation?
No, Oklahoma doesn't have reservations anymore. They have
Okay.
Indian lands,
I
and
see.
85% of the state is under native control, or indigenous people is what they call them today.
Mhm.
So that I was getting into a little bit of trouble too. So they sent me north to Indianapolis to go to school because I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was bad.
That's okay. The worst kids wind up being the most productive, most outstanding members of society in many, many cases. That's for sure. You just have a personality. You don't want to sit still. You've got dreams in your head. I sound like I'm talking about myself, but I was the same way. I was not a great student. I couldn't sit in that class. I was staring out the window. It's just kind of how it is. It's school in many ways is engineered more for girls than for boys. You know what I mean? Men tend to be a little more active, and sitting in that classroom for 7 hours a day or whatever it is can be tough. So you've now made Scecina Memorial High School a place of note. By putting it in your book, you've created a legacy for it. So that must feel pretty good, right?
Yes, sir, it does. And like I said, many of the students I graduated with, they're still running around, and several are retiring from various occupations. Um, we've had, I mean, the full gamut. As a matter of fact, I believe we were the largest class ever at the school. At one time, there was, I think, somewhere close to about 1,500 students.
Wow.
But things have changed. I believe Indianapolis now has pretty close to a dozen Catholic schools there. It is, of course, the center of Indiana, and many of them go on to other Catholic schools. But Indiana has a plethora of schools and excellent engineering schools, excellent schools within a variety of areas.
Yeah.
So Scecina is just one of many of the schools in Indiana today, north and south. So that I'm a proud person of that area, and I still know many of them. I think about a third of everybody I know on Facebook went to school with me, and some were in the military. So, I mean, just a variety of different people from all over the place.
Exactly. It's the miracle of Facebook. You go to your 50th year reunion. It used to be, all of a sudden people have gray hair. They're not walking. Oh my God, he was 18 years old when I last saw him. Now, because of Facebook, you know what people had for lunch 2 Thursdays ago. So a lot of the surprises are gone, but that's probably a good way. But it's also a great way to connect. And I've connected with my high school buddies as well on Facebook. So that's awesome. And now you are the standout pupil for sure, because you have written a book, like I said, to memorialize the school. It's called A New Cat at Scecina. It is written by Stephen Peterson. It is set in the real life high school of Scecina Memorial High School in Indianapolis. And it follows the story of Makaley and Kat, 2 students who become fast friends when Kat comes to the school as a newcomer. Great story, lots of great memories there. This book feels very real. It's based in part, of course, in reality. That's why it feels so organic and real. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
And I thank you for having me here too. As a matter of fact, the sun just came out.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great sign. And hopefully you send a link to your interview to the kids and alumni from Scecina Memorial High School. I'll say, hey, Scecina Memorial High, in case they're watching. And Stephen, I'll thank you for your time today.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for having me.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight. Go Scecina.